Welcome to Wander Europe. Today I won't ask you where you want to go, but how do you want to feel the journey? Because Europe is not just a destination, it is a sum of voices, times, stories, who keep talking to each other even when no one is listening. You're ready to discover it together, one destination at a time. There are places that you visit, and then there are places that, without asking permission, remain. You don't remember them for a perfect photograph or for a list of monuments that have sprung up one after the other, but for a sudden sensation, a light reflecting on the water, the sound of footsteps on an ancient street, a square that forces you to slow down without you knowing why. This is Europe. A continent that is not crossed in a straight line, but in depth. Here, the journey is never just movement, it is listening, it is waiting, it is memory. Today we will not make a list of cities. Today we're going on a trip. A journey through places that are not only beautiful to see, but hard to forget. There is a city that is born divided and becomes stronger precisely because of that division. Budapest lives on both banks of the Danube like two souls learning to breathe together. Buda watches from above, ancient and silent, made of hills and castles that seem to keep secrets. Pest, on the other hand, vibrates, runs, lights up with everyday life, with cafes, markets, and voices. At night the bridges light up and the river stops separating, it begins to connect. Here, time slows down in the thermal baths, where hot water bubbles up from invisible depths and social life mingles with steam. Budapest doesn't ask you to choose a side. It invites you to stand in the middle, at the exact point where differences become balance. Vienna, on the other hand, is in no hurry. He never had any. It is a city built to last, to host music, ideas, empires, and silences. Here beauty never shouts, it whispers. Every building seems to know exactly who it is, without needing to prove it. In historic cafes, time expands. People read, write, think, as if the outside world could wait. It's easy to imagine Mozart walking through any door or a melody being born without warning. Vienna is proof that greatness needs no spectacle. It just needs harmony. Prague seems made up. And yet she survived. To wars, to revolutions, to the transformations that have wiped out other European cities. Walking across Charles Bridge you get the feeling that the city is watching you, not the other way around. Statues don't decorate, they keep watch. Each stone seems to remember something you have forgotten. Here each era has remained in its place without erasing the previous one. Gothic, Baroque and Art Nouveau coexist like layers of the same story. Prague is not just beautiful. It is intact, and for this very reason it is disturbing and fascinating at the same time. Istanbul does not belong to a single continent. And not even to a single identity. Here Europe ends and begins again at the same time. The call to prayer crosses the Bosphorus as ferries pass from one world to the other in a matter of minutes. Hagia Sophia was a church, a mosque, and a museum. He hasn't changed his soul, he has absorbed time. Istanbul doesn't ask you to understand it, because understanding it fully is impossible. It just asks you to accept the complexity and let it flow through you. Venice shouldn't exist. Yet it has endured for centuries. Roadless, carless, built on water and supported by submerged timber. Here every reflection is real and every silence weighs more than words. Venice is not crossed, it is listened to. The sound of water, distant footsteps, a door closing softly. And when you leave you're never sure you've really understood it. But you know for sure that you will never forget her. Paris is not a museum. It is a city that lives within beauty without realizing it. Here, art is not separated from everyday life, it is a cafe on the corner, a stroll along the Seine, a Montmartre staircase at sunset. The left bank thinks, reflects, imagines. The right bank shows, exhibits, tells. Paris doesn't hit you all at once. It wins you over slowly, one detail at a time, until you realize you already miss it. Lisbon looks out at the ocean like someone who has seen it all and still keeps dreaming. Trams slowly climb the hills, facades tell stories in azulejos, fado music doesn't demand attention, it gets under your skin. Here melancholy is not sadness. It's memory. It is the memory of departures and returns, of journeys begun without knowing if there will be a landing. Lisbon teaches you that you don't have to run to go far. Rome is not a city. It's all the cities it's been. You walk down one road and beneath you is another, and beneath that another. The Colosseum is not a ruin, it is a presence that continues to speak. The past is not over here. It coexists, discusses, breathes alongside the present. Rome is not really visited. You go through it, knowing that a lifetime won't be enough to understand it. Barcelona does not contemplate, it acts. It is light, sea, continuous movement. Gaudi didn't decorate the city, he reinvented it, making art part of the street. Between the Gothic quarter and the beach, life flows without asking permission. Here art is not sacred, it is not distant. It is alive, daily, inevitable. Edinburgh is divided in two, like a story told by two voices. In the middle, the castle has been watching everything for centuries, motionless. Above, the old city, dark, vertical, medieval. Below, the new city, tidy, bright, rational. These cities are not the most beautiful because they are perfect. They are because they are true. Because they carry scars, ideas, mistakes, and rebirths. Traveling in Europe isn't about collecting places, but about recognizing parts of ourselves in stones that have seen the passage of time. If even just one of these cities has made you want to leave, then the journey has already begun. This is Wander Europe. And Europe, like every great story, never stops telling itself.